That son of a gun did it. That James Gunn made a really good movie. So Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is the third installment of the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise that's within the franchise of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And right off the bat, I loved this movie. It was great. It was a lot of fun. It was emotional. I was all over the place. You will cry if you have a soul. You will cry tears of joy. You will cry tears of sadness. And it emotionally gets so overwhelming at times that I just had tears coming out because I was just so emotionally just like ramped up. Everything that was going on. James Gunn, I want to talk about him for just a second. James Gunn as a director is incredible. It doesn't matter what kind of material he's going to do. He nails it. I have not seen a bad James Gunn movie. There might be some that don't hold up or are as good as others, but for the most part, a James Gunn movie is going to be solid and deliver, and that's what this does. Now, the story here is, not going to lie, a little all over the place, but essentially the Guardians of the Galaxy return for their, I won't say it's a swan song, I guess, but it's more of a conclusion to their story, and it does almost feel like a natural way to end things, and we'll touch on that a little later. There will be no spoilers. I will not spoil this movie because you should go out and check this out, I think. But essentially, the Guardians are tasked with going out and trying to help Rocket out. This is very heavily Rocket focused. We get his origin and how he became to be and how that ties into the villain of the film, the High Evolutionary, who is, I think, in my opinion, while maybe a little one note at times, he is one of the better MCU villains that they could have had. Especially in the Guardians movies, Ronan the Accuser in the first one was kind of, he was there. He was there to serve a purpose. Kurt Russell in the second movie as Ego, pretty good villain. Then you have Chukwudi Iwui as the High Evolutionary. He was, this actor was great in the show Peacemaker. If you haven't checked that out, also directed by James Gunn, it is phenomenal. I love Peacemaker, and the fact that he got brought over, Chukwudi got brought over to this film, I was very excited to see who he was going to play, and I think he plays a great bad guy in this. Very good. The standard Guardians are great in this film as well. Chris Pratt, I think, kills it as Star-Lord. Dave Bautista as Drax. Zoe Saldana as Gamora. Karen Gillan as Nebula. Then you got Klementieff as Mantis. And the list goes on and on. Bradley Cooper is the voice of Rocket. Vin Diesel is the voice of Groot. Will Poulter comes in here as Adam Warlock. There's just so many characters in this, and they all stinking nail it. The acting has got to be the best part of this movie, on top of just great special effects. You knew that was going to be, in the wheelhouse of James Gunn and of a Guardians movie. Just great special effects, and then you got, another great soundtrack. Maybe not as good as the other two film soundtracks, in my opinion, but I thought this was a very, very well done soundtrack. For the most part, there might have been a few songs I would have been, I probably would have left on the, we'll keep it on the soundtrack, but maybe it didn't work in the movie. But that's just me. I'm sure other people will love that. At the core of this story, a story that is a little all over the place, if I'm being honest, is this emotional journey of Rocket, the emotional journey of all these characters. Everybody, I feel like, gets balanced screen time. The main Guardians crew. I do think maybe by the end, the way they kind of all, end the story, again, no spoilers, the way I feel like they kind of end all these character stories in their different ways felt, I would say, rushed. There were definitely traces of where they might go, but I don't know if it was as fluid as I would have liked, but that's just me personally. But I mean, otherwise, this was one of the better Marvel movies you're going to see. It's definitely probably the best Marvel movie since Spider-Man No Way Home, in my opinion. This is Marvel at its best. This is like what you would expect from Marvel. The last several movies in Phase 4 and the TV shows haven't really knocked it out of the park. And this is a knock out of the park, easily. And a great way for James Gunn to end his trilogy and end his time at Marvel, as James Gunn will now move on to DC and direct a Superman movie, which, after seeing this and all the emotion that he really, really puts into this film, all the character development and all just that stuff in this film, if any, and even an ounce of that is in the new Superman Legacy, I will be a happy DC fan. But, in the end, I'm going to give this film an A-. I really did dig this film. This might be, it's kind of sitting there with Creed 3, for my second favorite film of the year. It might go back and forth, but I'm really leaning towards this being my second favorite film of the year so far. This, I think, is a great time. Flawed, for sure, but still a really good time. I'm sure other people might like a lot of the stuff I had issues with. Some people might not like it as much as I did, and that's fine. And I think if you're a fan of the Guardians, though, the core cast is the heart and soul of this film, and what they do with everybody, if you're invested even a little bit, it delivers. So yeah, I would highly recommend. Please go check this film out. It's so good. I might go see it again. I don't know. I was pissing tears at a couple points in this film. It was, man, the waterworks. I had to sit there, wiping tears off on my shoulders for most of the film. So I will also say the movie is a little long. I feel like it could have been trimmed down a little bit. There's just so much story that James Gunn tries to put in this that it does feel a little overstuffed. But again, different preferences for everybody. I just think it could have been condensed just a little more. But other than that, but yeah, what do you guys think? Are you guys going to go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? What's your favorite of the Guardians movies? Who's your favorite Guardians character? How do you feel about the Marvel Cinematic Universe? All those questions that come out when a Marvel movie comes out. Throw all those answers down in the comment section below. And please, guys, do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, the little bell notification to be notified whenever I drop new videos. And I will see you guys again for the next movie review. And until then, I'll be seeing you.